3, 2, 1. And we are finally live. Alright guys, welcome back to the live stream. Yes, Daddy Bobby has to apologize. My son was crying and he didn't want his daddy to work. But this is what I have to do here. Excuse the mess in the background. We are in the middle of a big move. I just got a new flat yet again, and tomorrow we will be finally settled in that new flat. Therefore, there is still some stuff flying around in the back here. Nevertheless, we are live, guys. That's what counts. So, with no further ado, let's get into it. As always, or as of lately, it's going to be a Q&A. You can ask me whatever you want. It can be, of course, religion related, but anything beyond that is welcomed as well. Nutrition, sports, and whatnot. We can talk about that. It's my pleasure. Alright guys, that being said, talking about sports, who watched the UFC? Absolutely amazing. And for me, the result wasn't unexpected. Spoiler alert here, wasn't unexpected, but the fashion was definitely unexpected. Islam Makhachev against Charles Oliveira won. In my Telegram group, if you're not subscribed, you can find it in the description box. It's free of charge, so anybody can join. And in my Telegram group, you already asked me who will win, who is my favorite, and I said, of course, that Islam Makhachev will win. However, I didn't believe it to be in such a dominant fashion. He submitted the submission artist, Charles Oliveira himself, within the first 2 rounds. Absolutely impressive, I have to say. I think we would all agree that Makhachev probably wouldn't be where he's at without Khabib or without Khabib's father. It really seems that he is great at absorbing all of that knowledge that Khabib essentially developed prior to him, because Khabib was the champion, Khabib was the best in the world, and now it seems that he is just transferring all of that knowledge into Islam. It's absolutely beautiful to see. Very impressive UFC. Overall, the card was pretty stacked. I was happy to see TJ Dillashaw again, but unfortunately he dislocated his shoulder. So that was a tough fight to watch, to be honest. Kind of sad for that guy, but overall, really good stuff. Anyways, guys, I see that we have plenty of people already in the chat. And plenty of people leaving as well, because I'm late. Guys, I'm always late. This is nothing new, okay? But that being said, as always, if you want to support this channel, if you want to support my work, you can do so via Super Chats or via the Streamlabs donation link, which you can find in the top of the chat. It's preferred because via Super Chat, it's, what was it again? I already forgot. I think 30% or so that goes to YouTube. So if you donate, let's say $10, $3 go to YouTube. Usually I wouldn't have an issue with that, but YouTube is very good at demonetizing this channel and shadow banning and whatnot. So honestly, I just don't want to give it to them. And with Streamlabs, you donate right away to PayPal. So it goes right ahead. What you donate, you actually donate, and you don't sponsor YouTube with it. So this is definitely preferred, prioritized. That being said, this way I can answer all of your questions. I will always try to get into the chat and answer some questions from the chat. But for example, last live stream, last Sunday... this is loud! Yes. Thank you very much. Speaking of which, let me just tone this down a bit. Yeah, as I was saying, and as you just heard, the Super Chats and the Streamlabs donations will be prioritized. Like this, I can definitely see your questions. It's a great way for you to support the channel and get your questions answered. It's a win-win situation for both parties. Alright, with no further ado, let me double check. Ah, fantastic. It doesn't display it here. Just 1 second, guys. I will have to open up a secondary window. And then I should be able to see it. 1 second. Streamlabs. Yes. Here we go. Dashboard. Please. Loading the dashboard. Here we are. Fantastic. Okay, let me just link this. Any second now, Boomer Bobby is in full effect as always. I think since I became a dad somewhat over a year ago, I aged at least 10. Mentally 100. Here we go. Recent events, yes. Fantastico. Mucho bellissimo. Here we go. Vugar donated 5, I think this is Polish currency, through Super Chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let me just double check if there was a sticker attached to it or something that I missed, because it doesn't display. Ah, here it is. Okay. No question attached. Guys, as I always say, if you use the Super Chat option or the Streamlabs option, make sure to attach a question, because this is what it's for. So I really appreciate the support either way, but you can use it for a question, and like that I can answer you directly. Merci beaucoup. I appreciate it. Alright, let me keep this open then, and let me see who's here. Ah, thank you. Very, very nice comments here. Are you still a Christian? Thank you very much. Again, Vugar with 10. I don't know what the Polish currency is called, but I just assume that this is Polish. PLN. Do you believe in free will? That's a very, very interesting question, man. It's very hard for me to answer, because this is something that I'm wrestling with for the past, I would say, 6 years or so. It's a very, very tough question, man, because on the one hand, I like to say yes, in a sense, and from a religious perspective, be it Christianity or Islam, both would claim. Thank you very much, Hammernail. I'm gonna read out in a second. So yeah, as I was saying, from a Christian or from an Islamic perspective, we do have a free will, and angels, for example, do not. So this is where we are very different. If you listen to the Christian Orthodox Church fathers, they will claim the same. They will say that they would rather be like the angels, because the angels do not have a free will and they just follow the will of God. They wish they would be like them. But from my own perspective, I see it slightly differently. So, thank you very much. Michael Magus, I'm going to read out in a second. So, as I was saying, I see it slightly differently. I don't want to pull a Jordan Peterson here and say, it depends what do you mean. What a terrible discussion between Jordan Peterson and Mohammed Hijab. We can talk about that a bit later. But it really depends what you mean, because with free will, how free is it really? Without getting too philosophical here, but it's always dependent on something, right? So if we just base it on our physical bodies, let's just start there. Let's not become super spiritual and philosophical. Let's just speak about our physical bodies. I, as myself, as this independent quote-unquote entity, if I ate a bunch of junk food, right? And my biochemistry, thank you guys are the best. I'm gonna read out all the super chats as I said in the beginning. Just give me a second. Actually, let me tone down the audio a little bit so I can read out the first super chat, or rather answer to it, before we get 10,000 times interrupted. But thank you very much, guys. If I would be eating a bunch of junk food and I would gain fat, right? And maybe I have some beers with it. So the next day I wake up and I'm hungover. What is being hungover? It's essentially your biochemistry being a mess, right? Your hormones don't function properly. Your body goes into detoxification. So you are quote-unquote not really yourself. In that state, what kind of free will do you really have? You are influenced by your biology. And so now if somebody asks you, hey, let's go to the gym, do you really have a free will when you say no? So do you understand what I'm saying? Your understanding of life and your response to life is heavily intertwined with your biology, with your vessel, so to speak, with your machinery, with your biological body. And therefore free will, just from that standpoint alone, is already something very, very tricky. let's go further with this. If we take some rapists, right? I can't even say this here on YouTube. But back in the day in France, there was still this punishment of chemical castration. What that means is they would essentially crash the testosterone levels of a criminal that goes out and peeps. So with the chemical castration, they would destroy his testosterone levels, and with that they would destroy his libido. And because the man would have no libido, this man wouldn't then even want to go out and have intercourse, for YouTube here, with women on the streets, right? He wouldn't like to anymore because his libido would be crashed. So that means his will, his opinion would already be based upon his biology. You see what I'm saying? And if we interfere with that biology, that would lead to a totally different outcome. And I've seen that, man. I've seen that with a bunch of friends of mine that were into bodybuilding. And I saw the opposite of the chemical castration, if you will. Because those guys, they would run around, would be pretty chilled guys, but then they would jump on cycle, on testosterone. And with that, they would become almost players, right? They would go after women more aggressively. They would train way harder. They would be more successful even in terms of business, etc., because they were so focused on achieving something. So that means, if we dissect it there, the free will is already first and foremost based upon our biology, and that biology determines then our decision making, and therefore I cannot really say that we have a free will in that sense. If we speak about it spiritually, I believe that everything that is good comes from God anyhow, and therefore if we do anything good, anything meaningful within this life, this is in direct alignment then with the will of God. So everything good comes straight from God, not from us anyways. And what is evil then? What is bad then? Right? So in Islam, we have the ideology of the jinns, for example. In Christianity, it would be demons, Satan, Shaitan. So ultimately, even there, our decision-making can be influenced by dark entities, so to speak, right? And so no matter how I look at it, ultimately, I will have to say that what is this free will? Is it really that free? It appears that we do have a will, but I can't confirm that it's completely free, but much rather influenced. Influenced by biology, influenced by dark entities, or, God willing, in the best case scenario, influenced by God. I hope this answer makes sense. Alright. Now, let me read out the other super chats. Unfortunately, they're not displayed directly here, so I have to refresh. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for the support. Let me give you an applause. Dankeschön. Thank you very much. Okay, so let me read them out. Let me see, where are we at? At Hammer Nail donated $2 Australian. Thank you very much. Hi Bobby, hope you're having a good day. Thank you very much for the donation. I had a great day indeed. We went to the river here. We took a little boat trip with the family. I just got back. It was really, really beautiful. We saw some pagan temples, some Buddhist temples. I appreciate the architecture. It's very, very beautiful, I have to say. Not so much the ideology. But nevertheless, yes, had a great day. Thank you very much for the donation. Miko Magus or Miko Magus donated $5. Thank you very much. Islam and Christianity are controlled opposition that conquers the world and keeps people worshipping the Jews' god Cacao Demon. Okay. Read Beware the World to Come by Christopher John Bjerknes. I'm reading many, many books at the moment. I'm going to save this nevertheless. I always save you guys recommendations. And therefore, wait a second. I think my mic is a bit hot, right? Let me see. Check. I think that's better. Yeah, so as I was saying, I'm reading plenty of books at the moment. I'm definitely going to save it. And controlled opposition, sure, I could understand where this thought comes from. And I wouldn't deny it just yet. I will have to do much, much more research on that. Ultimately, those are topics that we cannot discuss fully on YouTube, as you might know yourself. Nevertheless, the idea of certain right-wing nationalists is, of course, that the religions that stem from Judaism are nothing but Judaism for the Gentiles, essentially, and therefore like a psyop for the Gentiles in order to control us, right? That's the idea behind it. I'm not too sure if I believe that, because ultimately I do see Islam in a direct conflict with... I can't say it here. I really want to say it, guys, but I can't say it here. You know, in a direct conflict, in a certain place where a lot of atrocities happen, etc., etc. So therefore, I'm not too sure if it's really a psyop or if Islam is not the last resistance against the evil in the world. That's that, and I cannot say more here. We really have to change platforms pretty soon, at least for the live streams. As I said prior, the reaction videos here on YouTube, it works at the moment, thank God. I love doing it, and I don't really have to censor much. It's a simple, family-friendly reaction. But my live streams, I always have to bite my tongue like this, because I want to say certain things that I simply cannot. Okay, anyhow, let's proceed. Thank you very much, Maiko Magus, I appreciate it. Bayu Maulana donated 35,000 rupiah, right? Indonesian rupiah, thank you very much. I have to go back to Bali at some point at least, Indonesia in general. I would love to see again. Hi, do you think your convert to Islam is a test? If it is a test... I mean, I believe that everything in life is a test, so if this is the test truly, then it's a tough one, I have to say. It might be. It might really be. With my attachment to my religion, to Christianity, etc., etc., it would be really a tough test. Coming from the Balkan, I told you the story. Fight with the Ottoman Empire, etc., etc. It could be a test, and then it would be a very hard test. Ayub Hassan donated £2. Thank you, Ayub. Please react to prophets on Judgment Day. I got an email today and I saved it to my playlist. So, God willing, I will react to it at some point. Thank you very much. Abotos donated 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you very much, Abotos. I think that's the biggest donation so far, right? So, applause. Abotos. And Abotos says, why do people use rational and critical thinking when it comes down to finances, mainstream education, etc., but not when it comes to religion? It seems that we need to start discussing, arguing on rational and critical thinking. Your thoughts? So first, I would disagree that most people think rationally about finances or the mainstream education. I think there's a lot of emotional attachment there as well, and they have absolutely no clue what they're doing. So I wouldn't say that they are rational there at all. But especially when it comes down to religion, there is even more emotional attachment to it, even more indoctrination, of course. And I would say that at first, people don't necessarily expect religion to be rational. So I guess they see it in stark contrast to everything that is going on in their life where they believe they are rational, and take it as something metaphysical which is supra-rational and doesn't have to be rational in that sense, right? So they take it much more as mythos, I would believe, and this is why they don't expect it to be necessarily a straight line and rational in that way. That would be my answer to that. Moreover, if I look at religion and religious belief that it is essentially seen nowadays, it is nothing more but cultural identification anyways. And because that is the case, people don't even try anymore to rationally understand their own religions. I don't think that this is the main argument for them anyways. They enjoy, I would say, what religion brought culturally, be it beautiful churches in the West, or be it the identification as white Westerners and polished, whitewashed Christianity that is, in their mind, not a desert religion any longer. I think that's that. But to be fair, talking
Let's
to...
create a bright, green future where we all feel compassion.
Thank you very much, guys. You guys are the best. I'm going to read it out in a second. But that being said, and to be fair, I talk to Orthodox Christians, fellow Orthodox Christians, and
Let's
they would
create
say...
a bright, green future where we all feel compassion.
This is actually an insider. I'm not playing this song because I like it. It's actually sarcastic from back in the day of my anti-vegan days. So, yeah, I don't expect you guys to understand that. It's an inside joke. And this is because I'm a Dragon Ball fan. Anyways, I'm gonna read out in a second, guys. Just give me a second. Thank you so much for your donations. As I was saying, I talked to Orthodox Christians, and their perspective on the whole thing, when it comes down to Trinity, etc., was that when we want to make it rational, then we start worshipping our own intellect, then we start worshipping logic, then we start worshipping rationale, etc., etc. I personally find that an easy, cheap way out. I don't take this as a valid argument, but nevertheless, this is their explanation, so they just base their understanding of God on revelation. And with that, I don't have necessarily a problem, because sure, every believer would accept revelation. But at the same time, I'm saying, if that revelation is so different than the previous revelation, when it comes down to the central doctrine of God, right? If you look at the Old Testament, Israel, your Lord is one, and then continues out of a sudden and it becomes a Trinity, that is a fundamental shift within doctrine, and for that it must make some sort of sense. But ultimately I have never heard a, again, rational or any sensical explanation of the Trinity. Anyways, I hope this explains it. Abotos, thank you very much for the generous donation, I appreciate it. Now we have Abdullah Alk, donated 18 Emirate dollars, I believe this is. Thank you very much for the donation, I appreciate it, bro. What did you think of Jordan Peterson saying that he won't accept Islam even if sufficient evidence was provided? First, applause for everybody for donating, thank you. Let me take a sip. Yeah, let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about that. So first and foremost, extremely disappointing talk between Mohammed Hijab and Jordan Peterson. What I see with Jordan Peterson is a very, very depressed man. Formerly, I would classify him as a intelligent intellectual, if you will, that had some sort of coherent thought, but now he just talks for the sake of talking. For me as a man, it is really important that you can give me one straight answer, okay? So if I sit down with a man and we want to discuss God, literally, we want to discuss God, it would be nice if we could agree upon some things first. For example, do you believe in God? Yes or no, right? Then I know who I'm talking to. So for example, if I want to discuss with any man and I say, hey man, do you believe in God? And he says no. I'll say, okay, you're agnostic, you're an atheist, what are you? We men, we think in boxes. We think rational, we need to classify, we need to quantify. So I would like to have an answer, and then we can tailor our talk to each other. It must make sense on some level, otherwise what are we really talking about? John Peterson has a very, very hard time answering any question straightforward, right? Any question. I give him that. For him, it's hard to answer you in a straightforward fashion. But nevertheless, any other question he at least attempted to answer, and he gave a lengthy, somewhat answer. Let's say he answered 10% of that particular question. But when it came down to the question of, do you believe in God? All of a sudden he asked the question, he shifts the goalpost, so to speak, and it depends what do you mean? What do you mean with you? What do you mean with do? What do you mean with believe? Come on, man. Honestly, really, that is your perception. That is your perspective. It's absolutely ridiculous. I cannot trust such a man. Do you understand? So if I would have asked, hey man, do you like cheeseburgers? I'm pretty sure he would give me a lengthy answer, and it depends on what you mean when you're speaking about cheese. But nevertheless, he would give me some sort of answer, right? But when Mohammed Hijab asks him about God, ultimately he goes on a rant that he cannot answer that question. And this is why I have to say kudos to Mohammed Hijab. Absolutely amazing response that he diagnosed him psychologically from an Islamic standpoint. That was fantastic, man. Really, that was fantastic. And he diagnosed him and told him, because you actually don't believe in God, that's basically what he said, this is why you are depressed, right? Because you don't have the remembrance of God. This is what the Quran states. And this was perfect, because this is really the root issue. I am really amazed. I have a very good friend that read his book, John Peterson's book, the last one. I think 12 more rules to live by, something on those lines. I haven't read it, so I cannot say, but my friend told me that everything in that book is based upon references to the Bible. So this man really goes into the metaphysics, the mythology, the philosophy of the Bible. He dissects the whole Bible, every story within the Bible, but he cannot answer if he believes in God. So this for me is mental illness. Because if you don't really believe in God, you believe in some sort of concept of highest unity, yada yada yada, but you don't really believe in God, nor do you really believe in the Christian God, why would you go into length of dissecting the Bible? This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Really. The craziest thing I've ever heard, man. For example, I really dislike football, soccer for the Americans under us. I have no interest at all. My father was a football player. He was pretty disappointed. Only one son, me, and I suck at football and I hate it, right? But the point is that I would never go into length of, let's say, dissecting every manager position within football, every player, which number is attached to that player, which position do they play, blah, blah, blah. But I don't even like football. I'm not even a football fan. What's the point? This is such mental masturbation. Why would you do that to yourself? Of course you will suffer then. Dissecting all of that knowledge, all of those books, aside from the Quran, of course, but you don't even believe in God. This is so crazy to me, man. Absolutely insane. And as I said, for me, I came to the conclusion that I cannot trust this man because this man simply doesn't give straight answers. And I think that every man that has one brain cell left or a little bit of intuition will feel the same way. But anyways, your question, Abdullah, was what do you think of John Peterson saying that he won't accept Islam even if sufficient evidence was provided? Essentially, to add on to my answer here, this man doesn't even believe in God. So for him, it's not about evidence. Do you understand? He doesn't care about evidence. For him, he's not even convinced of Christianity because he can't even tell you that he believes in God. So other concepts like Trinity, he didn't even mention really. Javid, good to see you, bro. Thank you. Other concepts like Trinity, he didn't even mention, as I said. So ultimately, this man doesn't believe in God, therefore doesn't really believe in Christianity. He's simply culturally identified with Christianity. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. The best. So as I was saying, culturally identified with Christianity, and therefore this doesn't really becomes a pursuit of truth for him. That's how it seems. Because if he really was into religion, at least, then he would read Quran, he would read Torah, he would read Talmud and whatnot. But no, he just bases it on biblical stories, and that's enough for him, apparently. I believe him that it's enough for him because he can't even wrap his mind around the simplest questions within those stories. All of this intelligence, all of this intellect is worth nothing in the end. It's shocking.
Let's create a bright, green future where we all feel compassion.
It's shocking, truly. It's shocking, truly, to see, and very, very sad. I mean, he started crying, as he does in every of his interviews lately, because some... The best guys. We'll read on in a second. Because some Orthodox Jews called him rabbi. Yeah, super sad, man. Anyways, wait a second, I need a sad song for this. So sad. So sad. Give it to me. Okay, enough sadness. I needed to do this. So yeah, as I was saying, ultimately he doesn't even believe in Christianity as such, as a whole. And therefore, why would he accept Islam if you provide enough evidence? Because he doesn't care for the evidence. He doesn't even care for the Christian evidence in that sense. He simply cares for feeling. He simply cares for mythos. He simply cares for cultural identification, it seems. And that's pretty much what it is. So this is why he wouldn't accept Islam if you provide enough evidence. Ultimately, Muhammad Hijab's approach was to show him plenty of evidence that Muhammad was a prophet. But again, what does a prophet mean, right? Doesn't mean anything, ultimately, just a concept. He didn't even want to accept the historical validity of Cain and Abel. He didn't care for that either. For him was just, yet again, some sort of mythological story. Thank you guys, the best. Thank you so much for your support. And that's why Muhammad Hijab here was absolutely correct as well when he said, so if it is that way, why do you accept only the Christian mythos then? Man, it's amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your support. This actually makes me really want to stream and come back next week again. Should make this more often again, make it a habit. Anyways, as I was saying, Muhammad Hijab, he pointed out correctly, why just choose the Christian mythos then? If you just take it as mythos, something useful, right? Some mythology that is useful to our life, some analogies, why not take the Egyptian Book of the Dead then? Thank you guys. I'll read out in a second. Right, why not take the Egyptian Book of the Dead, Taoism, Hinduism, etc., etc. If you don't really believe in the core of the religion, you can take anything. Unbelievable. This is crazy, man. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to tone it down a bit, though. Here we go. He was absolutely correct there with what he said, Muhammad Hijab, because in the end, yes, you can take any mythological story, you can take Greek mythology as well, as long as those archetypes, as Jordan Peterson likes to call them, fit your narrative, fit the story, the explanation of sorts. You wouldn't need any particular religion for that, but he still chooses Christianity. So why is that so? And he didn't have an answer for that. It's just cultural, it is just identification as a Westerner, and that's basically where it starts and where it ends, nothing else. It doesn't go deeper than that, because, yet again, he cannot even answer the question of if God exists or not. Unbelievable. Anyways, thank you so much, guys. Applause, 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 applause. The best. I see so many questions in the chat, guys, but as you can see yourself, I'm getting super chat after super chat after super chat. Thank you so much. It's impossible for me to look into the regular chat. It really is. I have only 2 eyes to see here. I cannot do... Yeah, you're right. I have to put it down a bit. Yeah, here. I cannot answer all the chat questions. I'm answering the super chats first. So if you want your question answered, guys, super chat, Streamlabs donation, even better. The link is in the chat box. Thank you so much. And in case you're watching this and you're not subscribed, over 70% of my views come from people that are not subscribed. I don't even understand how that works, but it's the case. I think 71%. We dropped a little bit from 72% to 71%. But yeah, guys, if you are not subscribed yet and you are watching my videos, might as well subscribe. Like that, you get notified if you click that notification bell. And yeah, like that, you're gonna get up to date every single time I upload. And like this, you support the channel. So if you like my content, please support and subscribe as well. Thank you so much. Okay, I toned down the button now. It's really too loud. That's crazy. I think we never had so many super chats, one after the other. Okay, now Hamza Patan donated 40, I think this was rupee, I believe. Thank you very much. How are you, mate? Bring back the vegan fitness videos. Thank you very much, Hamza. I appreciate it, man. I got a bit bored by it, to be honest. Not only a bit, I got very bored by it, to be totally honest, because veganism is so dead at the moment. They don't have any interesting representatives at all. And veganism, the whole thing has been debunked so many times. So I believe I paid my dues. I believe I did enough educational content, so to speak, God willing, for people that really want to inform themselves about veganism, ex-veganism, and about the plant-based agenda, so to speak. All the videos are still up there, people can watch them. But that being said, sure, if there is anything interesting to respond to, I most definitely will. I want to diversify my content here a little bit, but at the moment, I'm very, very happy to do Islamic reaction videos because first and foremost, I'm learning about Islam myself, so it comes in handy. And secondly, people consistently reach out to me every single day and they send me videos. And you wouldn't believe, I'm completely transparent here with you guys, you wouldn't believe how tough it was to find vegan videos to react to. So I have no issues to sit down in front of my computer and to react to anything basically. But the search for videos, I cannot stand. Because with vegan videos, it could take up hours, man. I would sit in front of the laptop, just look for videos, and then in the end, I wouldn't even have one video. It's crazy. There would be days where I search for videos and I can't find anything because it's so damn boring. Again, another 18, 19-year-old woman that is showing off her Gymshark leggings and is eating an oat smoothie bowl with soy chips. Absolutely boring. Yeah, if not demoralizing, really. It was in the end just too much, man. I couldn't do it anymore. So extremely boring. It's not worth it. And so therefore at the moment, thank God, man, Islamic reaction videos are fun to make. People like them. So for me as somebody that makes YouTube videos, it's actually very gratifying. It's cool to see. The audience is awesome as well. Get a lot of support. I love it. For me it's great. But nevertheless, I will always crap on veganism. That is for sure. Sooner or later. Thank you very much. Hamza, appreciate it. Hammer Nail donated $2 again. Thank you very much, Hammer Nail. Thoughts on depression? Does God hate me? That's an interesting way of thinking about it. For the people in the chat, I see it reoccurring here. Ja, ich spreche Deutsch. Ich kann auch Deutsch sprechen, gar kein Problem. Auch Deutsch ist bodem I makedonski. Un petit français aussi. Oui, oui. Just a little bit. Okay, anyways, so my thoughts about depression. So thoughts on depression wouldn't be fair, wouldn't give it justice if I was never depressed myself. And way back, 11 years ago actually, I was truly depressed, very depressed. What happened there is I got very, very sick. So let me give you a short summary, as short as I can, and as much as I can say here on YouTube, because the videos that I spoke about that depression, they were deleted by YouTube because apparently they were dangerous to the public, right? So I will have to censor myself yet again, and I hope you will understand what I say. But it doesn't work any other way. Again, guys, if you would like to follow me on any other platform, let me know about the platform and we make the shift for the live streams. No worries, I will still upload reaction videos here, but for the live streams, I would really like to move wherever we have free speech. Let's do it. I'm definitely down for that. Anyways, that being said, the censored version now. 2011, I'm 24 years old at that point, and I'm partying every single day, man. I'm partying, I'm using certain whilst partying. And I see multiple women during that time. I have a fantastic time, right, out of that 24-year-old perspective. So at that peak of my fun time, I get terribly sick, super sick. I go to every single doctor in town and nobody can diagnose me. So ultimately they tell me you have a autoimmune disease. Thank you very much again, I'm gonna read it out in a second. They tell me you have an autoimmune disease and we can't really help you here. You just have to lay it off. They give me antivirals. They give me some sort of immune boosting medicine and whatnot, and nothing helps, right? So after a while, I started developing a fever, and then my lymphs started swelling until my right leg got pretty much paralyzed, partially paralyzed, and it swelled to double the size ultimately, right? So during that time, I couldn't move out of bed anymore. Before that, as I said, I was living the high life, and now I ended up crashing on my parents' couch, feeling like an absolute sack of potatoes. It was terrible, right? And during that time, I did many, many other things that I cannot mention here, so I had to stop with all of those things, and I was just this lump of meat on my parents' couch, as I said. So laying there on my parents' couch for a week wouldn't have been so bad, but it continued for half a year, and then 1 year, and then 1.5 years, and my condition just didn't get better. During that time, I couldn't drive the car properly anymore, couldn't do sport anymore. Before that, I was pretty shredded, in good shape, couldn't do anything anymore. So that then led to me being depressed, okay? There were certain cures to that depression that I'm not going to talk about again, but that led to me being truly depressed. So, I cannot say it yet again, here, like this, depressed. Thank you very much, Ali, going to read out in a second. And therefore, I know how real depression feels, okay? So, does God hate you? No, absolutely not. God loves you. I am of the firm conviction. But what is happening in depression is that you don't love yourself anymore. And moreover, you don't love God either. Depression is a hole in which you cannot even see God any longer. So it's ultimately the biggest detachment of God that you can go through as a human being. Because you don't believe and you don't see the higher purpose in anything anymore. You don't believe in an afterlife either. You don't believe in anything good any longer because you just see the dark side ultimately. Can it be based upon biology? Yes, it can. But aside from that, can it be based upon something spiritual? Yes, it can as well. But nevertheless, it is not God that hates you, but you yourself hate yourself. God is the cure to depression, 100%, because even after getting out of that depression, I would always have slight anxiety, fall back into depressed episodes. And only when I found God, ultimately, this really gave me peace of mind, essentially peace of my soul, if you will. And I don't believe that true fulfillment can come without God. I don't think that is possible at all. Again, just as with the talk between Jordan Peterson and Mohammed Hijab, where Mohammed Hijab diagnosed Jordan Islamically and told him that if you don't believe in God or you don't have the remembrance of God, you cannot be sane, you cannot be normal, you will always be depressed. I would fully agree with that. But that being said, depression, can I even say this on YouTube, man? Depression for me personally, I am not a doctor, this is not medical advice, I'm just sharing what has happened to me, okay, YouTube? Thank you very much. I have seen depression being lifted through returning to God, for sure. It has been the case for me personally as well. It is a shift of priority, because depression ultimately is a humongous illusion. It tells you ultimately falsehood all the time, 24/7. It tells you something that is not real. If you practice any amount of meditation, you would come to the conclusion that you are not your thoughts, right? And the thoughts try to control you on a daily basis. From an Islamic perspective, again, those would be the shayateen, those would be the jinn that whisper in your ear and they try to manipulate you, right? If we look at thoughts, what is really real, man? Assume I worked all day on a construction site, which I did. And now I go home and I sit on my couch. And now thoughts start popping up. One thought tells me, get up now, man, you can do it, go to the gym, give it your best. The other thought tells me, bro, just order Uber Eats, sit on the couch, relax, just enjoy. Another thought tells me, hey, order something healthy to eat and just go early to bed and relax your body. Which thought is real now? Maybe it's not a bad idea to actually regenerate the body and go to bed, right? Could be. Or is it the real way to get up and bust your butt in the gym? Is that the right way? So ultimately what I'm saying is none of those thoughts are really real. The only thing that's real is what you're going to do. So you might just keep on sitting on that couch. Maybe you're gonna do none of it. Maybe you're just gonna pass out on the couch and that's it, right? Or maybe your friend's gonna call you and you're gonna go out with the friends. Or maybe ultimately you will go to the gym. So reality is only what is based in reality. So only what is happening, right? And what I'm saying is that ultimately depression is a magnification of those dumb thoughts to begin with. As a normal person, as a normie, as a sane person, you already have all of those false thoughts anyhow. So depression takes like a magnifying glass and puts it onto the darkest of thoughts and just tells you 24/7 crap. That's it. None of it is real. And those voices can be magnified to such an extent that one day you can find yourself actually doing this one, right? And this becomes then reality through falsehood. So depression is nothing but falsehood. It is nothing but darkness, nothing but a shadow ultimately, fog, and only the light of God can shine through that. That's really how I see it. So ultimately, instead of thinking about, oh, does God hate me? Whatever religion you belong to, start participating with that religion at first. Start looking into the scriptures and go from there. No, God doesn't hate you, God loves you. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for all of the donations. I'm going to read all of them out. Don't worry about it. For guys that are just tuning in right now, we're reading out Super Chats and Streamlabs donations. The Streamlabs donation link is in the chat box, guys. Super Chat down there. Streamlabs is prioritized. It's better because they don't take a fat cut like my pimp YouTube here. But both works, of course. To the guys in the chat, honestly, I really would like to answer your chats as well, guys, but the people that are supporting the channel here, I answer them first and foremost, and up until now, I can't even catch up with all of them. I'm reading out still super chats that came in 20 minutes ago, so thank you so much for the support. And yeah, hence, if you want your question answered, use the super chat or Streamlabs donation buttons. Merci beaucoup. Okay. Let's continue. Where are we at? Miss B donated 6 euros. Thank you very much, Miss B. Do you believe that Muhammad is the last messenger? Suspense. Suspense. What does he believe? Exactly.
Let's create a bright, green future where we all feel compassion.
Thank you very much, guys. So as I said already, people try to get an answer out of me from all sides, right? So, hey, do you believe in the oneness of God? Yes. Hey, do you believe Prophet Muhammad was the last messenger? Answer to that. So ultimately they want to get like a scattered shahada. I'm not going to do that. As I said previously, first and foremost, I'm not going to do that online. If you watched my interview with Sheikh Uthman, you would have seen that as well. This is something personal, which then, of course, I will announce on this channel. No worries. I'm not going to have secrets or be a secret Muslim. Hehe. Of course not. But nevertheless, it is something that I'm learning about. As I said previously, as a Christian already, I always believed in one God. Yes. The prophethood of Muhammad is something that I'm studying at the moment. I'm reading Martin Link's book. And once I came to the conclusion, once I'm going to come to the conclusion, then I'm going to announce it here. Thank you very much, Miss B. I appreciate it. Hammer Nail donated again, $2. Thank you very much. Can you react to Allahu Akbar Coke Studio? Okay. Let me see if I can copy this. In this window, it's really, really hard to copy things. I don't know why. Let me see if I can open this up. 1 second. Let me see. Coke Studio Season 10, Allahu Akbar, Ahmed. Ah, it's a song. Man, I don't think so. Because it will copyright strike my channel. If it's really from Coke, it will definitely copyright my channel. So I cannot do that, unfortunately. Thank you very much for the donation, bro, but mainstream things. I even want to answer to not Jordan Peters, what's his name? Piers Morgan. Yeah, I want to react to that. But they will simply delete my channel if I do that too often. So I cannot answer to mainstream things, unfortunately. Okay. Abdullah donated 18 Emirate dollars. Thank you very much, Abdullah. This is something, yet again, that I cannot really read out here. So you have to bear with me, thanks to this beautiful platform, and interpret what I mean. Do you believe that Skype caused the barrier between Jinn dimension and ours to become thinner, as some believe? That's a way of putting it, sure. Thinner, or I would even go so far to say dissolve it completely, honestly. Yet again, this is not medical recommendation, this is just for informational purposes, for whatever, everything you might think of. Disclaimer, 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 disclaimer first. I actually even built in a little disclaimer. Let me see if I can put it in here. 1 second. People that are tuning in here, they're probably wondering, why, Bobby? Why do you talk this way? That's so strange. Yeah, it is very, very strange indeed. But guys, I am tiptoeing around because otherwise I will get banned. So I've been consistently trying to stay under the radar and to do everything within my might to stay within the community guidelines. And I still am, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as my lawyer is concerned, blah blah. But due to the very, very strict changes here on this platform, we have to be very, very careful. Okay, so please read this disclaimer, people. Okay, read this disclaimer. Read it now. Please read it. I bass boosted everybody. Yes, here's some music. Read the disclaimer. Okay, fantastic. Everybody read it. So now back again to the question about those substances. Yeah, if they make the barrier thinner, out of my own experience and experience from friends of mine, that barrier can be lifted completely. So as I said previously, yes, I encountered certain deities, certain, I would classify as jinn as well, entities that were made out of light, entities that were made out of even laser beams, it appeared. Very, very strange. And some of them, they weren't classical evil entities in that sense, but they were like us humans. And that is why, when I read about the jinns, it made so much sense to me as well. Because within Christianity, we just have angels and demons. And that didn't really explain what I saw. Because angels and demons are so dualistic, right? They are absolutely good and absolutely evil. But that's not what I saw on my own experiences. It correlates much more to the jinn. Because what I saw is entities that were sometimes, yes, pretty evil, but sometimes kind of neutral. They all had egos, and they all had their own agendas, but there were plenty of them that were neither really good nor really bad, like us humans indeed. And so, yet again, to come back to your question here, not only did the barrier get thinner, but I was completely immersed within their world. Essentially, the barrier was lifted, and even my world here, our world here, was gone. I was completely there with those jinn, ultimately. Yeah, that can happen. So stay away from it. Not good. Miranda donated $5. Thank you very much, Miranda. I appreciate it. How does your family react to your interest in Quran? So I haven't really spoken much to my family about it, at least not my very, very close family. But they, of course, found out about it, and yeah, they don't like it. Let's just put it that way. They really don't like it. They dislike it a lot. They think that it's just not for us, right? There's something that is forbidden ultimately. We should never look into it. There's something that is for them, and we have ours, and that's it. And nothing will ever change. So therefore, yeah, there's a huge, huge stigma, which I can absolutely relate to and understand, because I had the same perception. I thought that Islam is from the enemy, from the devil, not for us good Christians, Islam bad. And so therefore, I didn't want to research it at all. I wanted to stay far, far away from it. If I could have, back in the day, I would have removed Islam from Europe, honestly. That was really my thought pattern back then. Remove Islam from the Balkan, etc., etc. So yeah, thank God that I got the chance to read the Quran and remove those repulsive thoughts, I really have to say. There was a time where I was really into nationalism and right-wing perspective, conservative perspective, etc., etc. Which is kind of funny, to be totally honest, because looking at myself now, I'm a guy from the Balkan, man. You know, I'm not a German in that sense. I'm not an Englishman or something, so I'm not a Westerner in that sense. I'm from the Balkan. That's me, right? And yeah, to adapt this Western perspective on things, or let's not say it's just the Western perspective, but the Western racial ideology, the nationalistic ideology, so destructive, man. Such a waste of time, such a waste of mental capacity, I have to say. Really, I was thinking about it just yesterday, and I thought to myself, wow, there are really people going through their life just thinking about how certain races are not alright, they should leave, they should be there. It's crazy to me, honestly. I thank God through reading the Quran have none of those thoughts left in my brain. I accept God's creation the way that it is, and every human being the way that they are. And you will always have good and bad people in every race, from every country, etc., etc. So yeah, thank God I got around to reading the Quran, I have to say. But to come back to the question yet again, my family is absolutely against it, for sure. Okay, now Javid, good to see you, brother. 11 bucks, appreciate it, my friend. Applause for Javid. Javid is always here supporting, it's unbelievable. Thank you so much, Javid. I'm running out of water here, man. My throat is getting dry. He says, what's up, Bobby? Please do a Jordan Peterson impression, lol. Oh, what do you mean by Jordan Peterson? I totally suck at it, man. It's basically my soy voice that I'm using. And I'm just saying, what do you mean? But anyways, thank you very much, bro. I appreciate it. Ibrahim El Shafi donated $2. Thank you, Ibrahim. Tag Bobby. Okay, this is German, so I'm going to read out in German and then translate for you guys. And for everybody that was wondering, again, yes, I do speak German. Tag Bobby, hattest letztens in einem Video über Mohammed gesagt, du würdest gern mehr über ihn wissen. Das ist nicht direkt über ihn, aber über den ihn nahestehenden Sahaba. Islamic Guidance, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Abu Bakr und so weiter. Grüße aus Dortmund. Okay, dann google ich jetzt Islamic Guidance, Umar ibn al-Khattab und so weiter und so fort und speichere das hier. Dankeschön. So, yeah guys, he just said that I spoke about it on a stream or so, that I want to find out more about Muhammad. And this video or this text, I don't know exactly what it is, I'm going to look it up, is about Ibn al-Khattab, Abu Bakr, etc. So I should look into it. Okay, Ibrahim. I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to look into it. Islam El Demeri donated 100 SAR. What is SAR? Let me just look that up. I'm always keen to see from where you people check my channel. Let me see. That is Saudi, huh? Saudi Riyal. Interesting. Yeah, thank you very much for the generous donation. Appreciate it. Let me give you an applause as well. I don't know how you say thank you in Arabic. Not even that. I have a lot to learn. Okay, thank you very much. And he says, I live in Saudi Arabia. I happily invite you to visit Mecca for Umrah when you become Muslim. Tickets on you, 3 days, 5-star hotel on me. Nice, thank you very much. May Allah guide you to Islam. PM me when you're ready. Hey, thank you very much for the offer, man. That is really nice. But that being said, I don't know how to PM people on YouTube. I don't think that actually works. So do me a favor. And if you want to reach out to me, then just shoot me an email on Instagram message. You can find it in the description box. So if you want to contact me, there is an email address, there is a Instagram address, Facebook, not so good. I barely check. And just shoot me a text, say, hey, it's me, Islam, and like that I can save you in my contacts. Or on Telegram, for example, that works too. Because here over YouTube, I don't think that will work out. But anyways, thank you very much for your generous offer. I might take you up on it. We will see you one day. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it, man. Miranda donated $5 again. Thank you very much, Miranda. Jordan Peterson has something like was. Always in doubt, and he really never answers any questions. It's so tiring. Yeah, that's what I said, man. As a man, you need to have straightforward answers as well. I don't mind you then continuing to philosophize and to think about all kinds of metaphysics. It's cool. But at least set a baseline, man. You know, we cannot discuss here what is you, what is do. Come on. You know, everybody knows what you and what do is. We can, of course, dissect and come to the conclusion that there is no real you. It's all an illusion and yada, yada, yada. But then we don't have a coherent discussion at all anyways. So what's the point? Right? So it has to start somewhere. So yes, I find it very, very tiresome. He's just using fancy words, as they would say. He's using fancy words to confuse us, man. Yeah, pretty much. Javid donated $12. Thank you very much, Javid. Yet again, brother. Is Jordan Peterson a grifter? Is he a scammer? Is he crying real or acting? Man, a really, really good question. But I think the crying is real. Looking at him, he seems so unstable that it hurts. I would really like him to take a holiday, something. Just stay off social media. Sell your books. I think you're making enough money, bro. Just stay off social media for a while. Relax. Take a break. It would be so beneficial for your psyche. So I believe the crying is real. Is he a scammer, a grifter? Depends what you mean. He's working for the Daily Wire. So you look into the Daily Wire now. I cannot do that here and decide if that is a legit company or not. That being said, I believe that he's been fed information for sure. And that he has to cover certain topics. This is not conspiratorial or anything. If you think about it, you can have, for example, a YouTube manager that manages your channel. I would actually like to have that, to be honest, would make my work easier as well. And then they tell you, hey, react to this video now, or talk about this. In his case, I believe they give him text as well that he has to read out then, similar to ghost writers. It's an assumption, but it seems like it. For example, there were certain videos like Dear Christians or Dear Muslims. I don't think he came up genuinely with all the thoughts to those videos. I really don't think so. It seemed that there were certain subjects, topics he had to talk about. Right? Schism of Islam, etc., etc., etc. And so therefore, a scammer indirectly, maybe. I don't think that he has bad intentions, but him working for the Daily Wire, he's definitely fed certain information that he then has to propagate. And therefore it becomes somewhat of an act. It becomes somewhat unauthentic, of course. But would I say that he's acting when he's crying? No, I think he's just mentally disturbed, man. Really. Abotos donated $7.33. Thank you very much. Follow-up question. After all your research, which religion would you say is more rational, logical than the others? Curious to know if we came to the same conclusion. Okay. So as I said, I don't want to answer prematurely, right? So I'm still learning, I'm still studying. We can dissect it very, very roughly, if you will, just to make a point, right? So let's make it as easy as we can. We can look at the natural, quote-unquote, religions, even though I wouldn't say that they're natural, but based upon nature to an extent, which then has been called paganism. The pagans didn't call their religions paganism, so we have to distinguish here, but nevertheless, we title it paganism, and we're talking about religions that talk about certain natural powers or supernatural powers within forests, within the oceans, Poseidon, Zeus, etc., etc. It's essentially polytheism to an extent, intermixed with magic, intermixed with dark magic, with wizardry, if you will, with shamanism. It's a huge jumble of very, very different things. It's not only one thing that we can point our finger to. Thank you very much. I'm going to read out in a second. And so therefore we have to ask the question if those religions seem rational to us, if those religions make sense to us ultimately. So for me personally, it was out of the window. Those religions did not make any sense to me. Again, I saw it within nationalism, within the right-wing community, that they want to connect to their European roots and therefore have a European religion. That again kind of defies the purpose, because religion is not bound to one location, or at least it shouldn't be, but the nationalists, they of course want a European religion because they want a European ethno-state, and within Europe they want to pray to their European gods, which is of course very primitive thinking, because ultimately there is only one God, right? We already came to that conclusion. So it's kind of like going backwards if you look into paganism. Okay, that being said, if we discard those first quote-unquote primitive pagan religions, then we get into actual polytheism in a sense. If we look into Hinduism, even though sure you can make the argument that even Hindus believe in one God and multiple manifestations of that God, I understand that argument, but it becomes problematic because you have plenty of deities that are seen as manifestations of God in the sense, but you have very, very dark entities as well, and praying to those entities is possibly not a good idea. So Hinduism kind of goes out of the window. Then we have Buddhism. Buddhism doesn't have God. Buddhism is about enlightenment theology. It's about the self / no self. It's about transcending the ego. Okay. There are certain attributes of Buddhism that still resonate with me and do make sense, because all of the religions, they do have partial truths for sure. But ultimately, can I as a human live with a religion that does not glorify God? Nah, can't. I simply can't, because for me, escaping the ego without having anything higher than the ego, thank you very much, without having anything higher than the ego, without having God ultimately, I always would fall back into my ego and worshipping myself. So that doesn't make sense. So, long story short, now we end up at the Abrahamic faiths. What do we got? We got Judaism, we got Christianity, and we got Islam. Those are the Abrahamic faiths, if you want to call them that. So Judaism is, again, ethnically based. It's what it is, right? It is essentially for the Jewish people. And therefore, to really become Jewish, you have to jump through all kinds of hoops, and then ultimately it won't even work most of the time. So that's not really even an option. And to be honest, I don't believe in the chosen people as such, right? I don't believe that there are certain people that are exalted automatically by default. I don't see it that way. So I believe that the religion of God must be universal, and it must come down to the person to accept it or not. So then we get to Christianity. Christianity, if you want to adhere to its orthodoxy or its Catholic perception, then you have the Trinity, right? So now you have to adhere to a God that has 3 persons. They're called persons. In other language, they would be called manifestation, as with the Hindus. But it is, yet again, a theology where we have a humanizing aspect. We have the Father, we have the Son, we have the Holy Spirit, and somehow they are in some sort of love symbiosis, and this is an expression of God, a personhood of God. And we as humans, we cannot connect to God if he's not a person like us, etc., etc. So that is the Christian doctrine. And you have to believe as well that Jesus died for your sins, that there is absolutely no salvation without him actually being sacrificed as the Son of God, but at the same time, he is God. So this can become very confusing. For me personally, it did. Thank you very much again. And is it very rational? Because that was your question. Not really. It's not rational. I think everybody will agree with that. Christians as well. It's not rational. It's based upon emotion. It's based upon allegedly receiving the message through the Holy Spirit. Okay, be that as it may. And then you have Islam, which is in its core monotheistic. Of course, you have certain branches now that practice certain things, people that intermix, but Islam itself, the message about one God and nobody else is worthy of worship, is of course the most rational. So here, you heard it, yes, of course. In terms of rationale, 100%. I would give it to Islam. I think that is the most rational decision and that it makes the most sense logically if we presuppose that rational and logic are the attributes that a religion must hold. Fair enough? Fair enough. Thank you very much for the donations, guys. You guys are truly the best. I really appreciate it, man. It makes it so much more fun and you're really supporting the channel. Thank you for helping me here to get the channel out of the pits of the algorithm. Thank you. Let's continue. Pablo Escobar donated $5. Thank you very much, Pablo. In life, we will either subordinate our desires to the truth, or we will subordinate the truth to our desires. E. Michael Jones. For that, an applause, for sure. But it's absolutely correct. This is the priority that people have to set for themselves. If you really pursue truth, you will find and you will understand that your desires in the light of the truth cannot exist. They cannot exist the same way. It's absolutely impossible, right? And therefore, you would have to subordinate your desires to the truth. You will say, hey man, those are my desires, just like a child that wants a lollipop, but you have to subordinate your will to the father in that sense. That says, nope, no lollipop for you. Here, eat some meat. It's healthy for you, boy. And you're gonna grow up as a strong man, God willing, if you don't eat candy all the time, right? So, personal pleasure, personal desire is subordinated to truth in that context as well. And then when we grow up, we don't have daddy telling us all the time. So we ourselves have to seek truth and then subordinate ourselves to that truth. Absolutely. Otherwise, we'll always be slaves to our own desires. 100%. There's nothing else. Honey. 1 second, guys. I will have to write my wife here because I don't want to scream. I think my son is sleeping now. Because I need water. I'm dying here. Okay. Woman, bring me water. That's my text. Let's see if she will respond. We'll wait for her. Okay, anyways, thank you so much, guys. Let's continue, let's proceed. Vina Melange, 96, donated $3. Thank you very much. What is your take on interfaith relationships, marriages between Muslims and Christians after studying Islam and coming from the Balkan, where this is still unthinkable for some? Yeah, absolutely. It's unthinkable. After learning it, though, after learning about Islam, I was quite surprised, actually, that it is possible for the Muslim men, at least, to get a Christian wife or to get a Jewish wife. It's possible, right? So for the woman, on the other hand, it's not possible, and I do understand the logic behind it as well, because the woman ultimately, if she comes from Islam into a Christian marriage, thank you very much, the woman is, I don't have to say it here yet again, but women are emotional and they are steered by their husbands, and therefore it could very well be that she then lets go of Islam and becomes Christian, right? So out of a self-preserving reasoning behind it, Islam wouldn't like that. And that makes perfect sense if you want to preserve something. So then on the other hand, for a Muslim man to take a Christian woman, it's up to her, but ultimately maybe she will accept Islam then as well. The man is the leading figure in the household, or at least should be. If he's not, then you failed ultimately at your marriage. And so therefore it makes sense from that standpoint. But that being said, yes, it's true. This is something that I didn't know back in the day. On the Balkans, absolutely unthinkable. And even talking to my wife here, she comes from Senegal and 90% is Muslim. The Muslim men that marry Christian women, they have to convert, right? But that is actually not even a must within Islam. So it's quite interesting that a lot, again, comes down to culture. My personal viewpoint on that is... Wait a second, I'm getting water. Babes! 1 second. So my personal perspective on that is it's the same with anything, right? If you have certain differences within your marriage, it will make it harder. That's just what it is. Simple, right? So if both are from the same faith, it just makes things easier. In the secularized world, for many people it doesn't matter anymore because they are not true believers either way, so therefore it wouldn't even matter. But if you believe in something and the other person believes in something totally different, then it just makes it super, super tough, right? But nevertheless, it can work, I would say. It can work. However, it makes it more complicated, and it makes it more complicated for the children as well. So this is something that you have to keep in mind, for sure. David asks, John Peterson is depressed. Doesn't he treat depression? I mean, he's a psychologist, yeah, but go figure, 90% of psychologists, they're depressed themselves. It's really the case. It's crazy. Because I'm going to make a controversial statement here. This is my own perspective, guys, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that psychology will ever cure depression. It's just talking about problems over and over and over again. How will that cure depression? There's absolutely no chance. No chance at all. I've never seen anybody that got cured from taking psychotherapy. Ever. It's fresh water after all. But yeah, he is depressed. And unfortunately, the carnivore diet didn't do the job either. I think that he really messed up biologically. I would really like to see his hormone profile. I think it's totally messed up. Anakita Smiles donated $5. Thank you very much. Anakita, do you still react to vegan videos? Have you heard of vegan deterioration? So yes, I have heard of vegan deterioration. I am aware of her content. I don't watch it personally, but I think when her channel got blocked or something, I even gave a shout out and advised people to subscribe to her second channel. But yeah, I personally, as I mentioned previously, it's already 1 hour ago or so, but I don't react to vegan videos at the moment because it became very, very tiresome. It just became extremely boring, repetitive, always the same. Veganism is dead after all, if you ask me, and until it doesn't get revived like a zombie, until then my job is kinda done. Nevertheless, if there is something interesting that you want me to react to, then hey, send it to me and I shall. That's what is so great at the moment, as I said previously as well. People reach out to me every single day and they send me videos to react to. So I don't have to worry about looking for videos. I have a full inbox with new videos. I just go through them, react to them. It's awesome. I learn something. People enjoy the videos. It's great. Right, but with vegan videos, I just don't want to go through vegan YouTube again and search for it forever. It's so boring. Eat vegetables and suffer. I don't care. Eat broccoli and cry. Who cares, honestly? Food Walks PK donated £3 through Super Chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Vugar donated again 25 PLN through Super Chat. Thanks. Have you watched Firas Zahabi podcast with Joe Rogan about truth? Highly recommended. No, I haven't. I like Firas Zahabi. I heard I think his talk on blogging theology, I liked it. It's definitely refreshing to hear his perspective. I enjoy it. But the podcast with Joe Rogan, no, I haven't watched. I should check it out, for sure. Thank you very much for the tip. Hammer Nail donated $2 again. Thank you, Hammer Nail. And says, love you, Bobby. Mwah. Much love back. Thank you very much, bro. Javid Benscon again. Thank you, brother. $2. Captain Sinbad does a funny impression of Misha. What was her name again? Michaela, right? Michaela? Mr. Peterson. Or Mr. Peterson. Whoever it is. I don't know who Captain Sinbad is, though. But thank you very much again, brother. Miranda donated $3, says, you'll get rich with all these donations, inshallah, lol. Yeah, inshallah, I'll get rich so I can donate my money. That's what I really want to do. But nevertheless, hey, guys, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for the support. If you look at my past with YouTube, it's... Hey, I'm gonna say thank you nevertheless. Thanks to God that I'm here right now. It's awesome. But they tried everything to destroy this channel. And I'm really looking forward to see what else will happen. But they tried shadow banning it. They did. They tried demonetizing it. They tried blocking certain videos, deleting them without any reasoning as well. Right? They gave me strike after strike, copyright strike and whatnot. So ultimately it really comes down to you as a community here through the super chats, Streamlabs donations. Absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. That helps tremendously, of course. But moreover, through the people that really share the videos and comment under the videos. I know that this is what every YouTuber says, but the point of the story is it really is true and it's extremely important, you wouldn't believe. So YouTube sent me like a little custom fit letter and said, hey, congratulations, your YouTube videos are now performing better because more people are engaging with them, they are sharing them and they're commenting. Okay, thank you very much, YouTube. But YouTube itself does not promote my videos. So what they do with certain other videos, for example, I saw that was roughly 2 years ago with people living the van life. Okay, people creating a camper van flat and then traveling through the country. So certain videos like that got promoted by the algorithm with intention behind it, of course, and they would just reach 1 million views right away. And so therefore, YouTube has an agenda in pushing certain videos so everybody sees them. Everybody noticed that. There's a certain video and all of a sudden everybody saw it. But with other content, especially when it comes down to religious content, they do not want to promote it. And therefore it really comes down to you guys. This is no joke. This is really the reality of things here on YouTube. Only by you watching the videos and then sharing the videos to Facebook platforms, to your friends and whatnot, and then commenting is extremely crucial. Yet again, I always write lately for the algorithm. Write this and this for the algorithm. No matter what you write, you can write A, B, C, D, E, F, G if you want to. Hello, what's up? Doesn't matter. Just by stacking up those comments, YouTube finally then realizes that, okay, people actually do want to see this. And then they start promoting the videos at least a little bit. And that's why. So I just thank God. I thank you guys as well, of course, for helping with the videos, sharing the videos, commenting. This is really what makes this channel. Otherwise, this channel would be nowhere, man. It's impossible. And therefore, it's all due to, first and foremost, God, of course. But secondly, you guys actually supporting this channel. It's amazing. Thank you very much. Okay. Many new subscribers. Welcome to the channel, guys. And now we have Javid again, $10. Thank you so much, Javid. People say I'm going to become rich. Javid is already rich, man. Thank you very much, Javid. I heard Jordan Peterson's daughter divorced her husband, who she has a child with, and who is the business manager of her dad. She hung out with Andrew Tate while her dad was in the hospital, and she charged $600 for her Lion Diet course, I think influenced by Tate. That might be. I have absolutely no clue, so I cannot comment on that. I mean, if the most shocking thing, really, this was the most shocking thing to me. I do enjoy people that are business savvy and understand what they're doing and they make money. Good for them. All cool. But the most shocking thing I ever saw was Greg Doucette's cookbook. Because he said that he made $10 million or something on those lines with his cookbook. And I thought to myself, wow, you must have sold a lot of cookbooks for that, man. An online cookbook is not even physical, right? It's digital. How many digital copies did you sell? So I looked into it, and don't let me lie now, I can look it up again, but I think it was $150. Actually, let me check it out. 1 second. Greg Doucette cookbook. Here we go. The ultimate anabolic cookbook. No, it's it's even $200. Let me see if I can show this to you guys. Yeah, here it is. Fantastic. Check it out. Check this out, man. This is something else. Can you see this? The ultimate anabolic cookbook for $200. This is crazy. Hey, good for him, man. Congratulations, bro. But this is something else, man. So the hard copy book is available now, but that doesn't mean that you get it for $200. Do you? Ah, nah, this is why it's $200 now. Ah, okay. It was $150 before, now it's $200 because you get the physical book on top. So you get new exclusive recipes, mouth-watering, sweet and savory varieties. So this is just the same. Huge collection of easy and fulfilling dishes. This is well the same. This is just recipes. Easy and BS-free cooking. This is again the same. Vegetarian and vegan friendly. Okay, that's an extra. Hard copy book available now. Okay, so he just tells you that it's recipes and you can adjust it for vegans and vegetarians. And you can get a hard copy book now. So this cookbook costs $200. Hey, whoever buys it, it's their own fault, if you ask me personally, man. This is really something else. Anyways, that being said, it's business savvy, so why not? Who am I to judge? Go for it, make your money. And hence, if we're talking about Michaela Peterson, if it delivers, right? If she really delivers the worth of $600, okay, God bless. I personally couldn't live with myself if my product isn't worth the price. That's how I am. I'm not saying that to sound very nice. No, I'm saying that because I've seen in my life that every single time where I try to get shortcuts, try to profit from something, especially when I was younger, forget about it. You pay for it anyways. Either way, you will pay for it. Mark my words. I don't believe in karma. I believe in God's wrath. And if you don't conduct yourself properly, you try to cut corners, you try to oversell certain things, don't worry about it. You will pay for it. All of a sudden, God forbid, whoops, you have to go to the doctors, have to go to the hospital, there's a bill popping up out of nowhere, etc., etc. So don't try to cut corners. Don't try to steal. I do understand that certain products, they're worth your time and hey, therefore they have their price. Absolutely, I get it. But a digital cookbook for $150, man, come on. Let's not lie here, right? You can sell that thing for $10, let's be honest. But nevertheless, if people buy it, up to them. Okay, anyways, let's get back to the super chats. Thank you very much yet again, guys. Truly appreciation. And we have new members as well. Hamid El Morabeti, welcome. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Thank you very much for supporting. We had another member as well. Let me see if I can find it. Guys, I removed basically 90% of my live streams because they're too controversial. As members, you can still rewatch them. So I don't want to overstate this, but at least 50 live streams, something on those lines, I believe. And they're still up on my channel, but only for members. You can rewatch them there as a member. We got another member as well, but unfortunately I can't find you, brother. Anyways, welcome. Welcome to the member section. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, next one. Ati donated $5. Thank you very much. No question attached. Guys, always make sure to attach a question. Thank you. Abo Sulaiman donated 25 SAR. Thank you very much. Please consider Quran only on your research about Islam. Would you? Islam from Quran only. Okay, let me take a sip of water. The Quranist, quote-unquote, explanation I'm already familiar with. And I've looked into it. I would say that there are certain arguments that sound good for that as well. Not gonna lie. Ultimately, for me personally, the Quran made a huge transformation within my life. So therefore, I do understand that people simply want to base everything upon the Quran. I get it. But at the same time, I'm not an Islamic scholar. I cannot comment on this. I personally am reading Hadith to understand more, to see how it stays in contrast with the Quran. And of course, I have to tell you right away, sure, the Hadith read different than the Quran. That is a fact. So, and I think that any Muslim would agree with me here, because the Hadiths are sayings and the Quran is the word of God from an Islamic perspective. So therefore, sure, they're different. And to be honest, to Muslims that I talked to that made sense in my opinion, they as well admitted that the Quran will have the highest authority. And that's it. And anything you read, be it the Bible, be it the Torah, be it Hadith, everything has to be seen through the lens of the Quran. And for me, that made sense. So therefore, I'm not opposed to the idea. I'm consistently researching. I'm learning more. I personally found very interesting historical evidence, if you want to take it as such, within the Hadith. The letter to Heraclius, we talked about that here on the channel as well. So I find the Hadiths up until now actually very beneficial, I have to say. And I wouldn't completely discard them. But they have to match the Quran. That's how I see it for now. Thank you very much, Abu Seliman. Appreciate it. Pablo Escobar donated $2. Merci. Have you heard of Owen Benjamin? Owen Benjamin, I think so. Wasn't that the comedian that had a beef with Joe Rogan? He was on the Dean show as well. Is a Christian, but likes Muslims. I think that's the one, right? Javid Benscombe donated and says, Owen the Flat Earther. So Owen Benjamin is a Flat Earther? I don't know about that. So if we are speaking about the same Owen Benjamin, actually let me just Google it real quick. I'm in the habit of my old computer that was so slow that I wasn't able to Google anything while streaming. It would lag, but now I can actually do it. So yeah, I see it here. That's the one. That's the one, yeah. Yeah, I'm not listening to his podcast if he has one, but I saw him on the Dean show. Okay, let's proceed. Gandaria007. $5, thank you very much. Do you recognize a difference between the approach of Islamic scholars compared to other religion scholars? Yeah, for sure. I definitely notice a difference. I mean, there are differences between the scholars as well. But with Islam, there is literally no wiggle room, it seems. Right? There is an answer to everything. I've seen certain videos of scholars when it comes down to oral sex, for example, right? Or is it haram or halal if Muslim sisters say bro and things like that? So Islamic scholars in comparison to Christian scholars are very much based on the scriptures, as it should be, I mean, ultimately, because they're studying the religion. With Christian scholars, there's always so much wiggle room, so much interpretation by themselves. So it much more becomes an ideology that can be catered to your own needs in a sense, and Islam stands very, very firm, and so do the scholars. So they're very literal when it comes down to Islam. There is very, very little room for interpretation. At least this is how it appears to me, and that would be the main difference. JB donated $2 again. Thank you, bro. Rockfin, bro. Free speech platform, so I can send you Rockfin donos, so you won't be a hobo or jab for job or job. Yeah, man, but the thing is, I talked to Rockfin via email, and then they invited me to some sort of business interview, if you will, right? Like a job interview. And I found it strange, but I said, yeah, okay, we might. And then I was leaving Portugal, and I moved to France. And then when I wrote them again, they didn't write back anymore. And then I said, okay, man, what is this anyways? I simply want to use the internet here. I don't want to talk to you for a job interview. It became kind of too much for what it is. So therefore, yeah, not on Rockfin myself. Maybe Rumble, maybe Twitch. We'll see. Sami donated $5 Australian. Thank you very much, Sami. Salam, bro. Salam. Check out Quran 6:128. It hints towards jinn possession and human-jinn interaction. Yeah, okay. Let me just copy this, and then we can read it together if you want to. Unfortunately, I do not speak Arabic, so as always, I am reading out a translation. One question, guys. Would it be interesting to you, maybe for non-Muslims as well, if I would read out the Quran in English and record it surah by surah and upload it to my channel. Would that be interesting? Because I was thinking about it, reading it again, and I know that some people are just lazy reading, and I thought like that they can get a glimpse of the Quran, or at least the translation. I can read it again and actually make it my duty, so to speak, to read the whole Quran one more time and share it with the world. So if this would be interesting to you, I would do it. Let me know. I should do a poll about this as well. Okay, Quran 6:128. This is, by the way, how it looks like on my desktop here. Here we go. And on the day when he shall muster them all together, he will say to the jinn, O assembly to the jinn, you have seduced a good many of mankind, and their companions from among the humans will say, our Lord. Yeah, you could say it hints towards it. Thank you very much. Miranda again, appreciate it. Thank you very much, Miranda. I'm going to read it out in a second. So you said that it hints towards jinn possession and human-jinn interaction. I wouldn't only say it hints at it, it actually talks about it, right? So yes, absolutely. This is the Islamic perspective, the way that I understood it, that jinns are in contact with us, that they're invisible to us in this state of mind, but we are very visible to them. Thank you very much, David. I'm going to read it on in a second. And therefore, yes, we can get influenced by them. Ultimately, that's what I was speaking about when I said, what is really free will if you're listening to jinns and you think it's your own will, but it actually isn't. So yeah, absolutely. Sami, it doesn't only hint at it, it explains it. David Benscombe, 777, thank you very much. Jordan Peterson works for Ben Shapiro. Exactly. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. Pixel City Art, good to see you, brother. $21.99. I think that's the biggest donation today, at least in dollars. So applause. Thank you, guys. Okay, here. I just read 3 super chats at once. One said hi, one said hey, the other one hello. And so I said, hello. Hello, Bobby. You're right about John Peterson. He should stick to clinical psychology and not get into religious debates. And yes, the crying on TV is not a good look for him. Cheers, Bobby. God bless. God bless you too, brother. Man, I think that his early lectures were on point. They made sense. He had a staunch position. He had a straightforward position when it came down to pronouns in universities. It all made sense. It was all right. He explained why he wouldn't address certain people with certain pronouns. It all made sense, right? But now he probably would, because he has no straight answer anymore. He's not straight anymore. And so therefore, yes, it's not a good look. I would like for him to see a recovery. Some holiday, just stay off social media, stay off TV shows, all of it. Just stay away. You don't need it anymore. But yet again, now he's working for the Daily Wire, and yeah, that can become very, very problematic. Not a good look and not healthy. Ia Donator donated $20. Thank you very much as well for the generous donation. Appreciate it. How do I say thank you in Arabic? Can anybody tell me? I would like to use it here and there, because I know how to say Dankeschön. I know how to say thank you. I know how to say Fala or Fala. But I don't know how to say it in Arabic. Turkish, teşekkürler. Right? So please let me know. Dziękuję, Polish. Kopkun Kap, Thai. So I know a little bit, but I don't know it in Arabic. So please let me know how to say thank you in Arabic. Shukran. Sukran or shukran? Shukran. Shukran. Okay. Shukran. Shukran, guys. Shukran. I like it. Let me see. Yeah, donator. Exactly. $20. Thank you very much. Bobby, did you watch UFC 280? Who were your picks in the last 3 fights of the event? So I didn't have any picks for all three. I just concentrated my mental focus, all of it, on the last fight. And as I said in the beginning of the live stream, I definitely had Islam winning, but I didn't think that it's going to be in such a dominant fashion. To submit this submission artist, Charles Oliveira, really shocking, really impressive. I had him winning anyways, as I said, but not like that. I thought it was going to take some rounds, maybe by decision, because ultimately Islam wanted to take him down. Charles Oliveira knew that, and he was already prepared for that, or at least he thought he's prepared, to simply defend him then on the ground, to use his jiu-jitsu as a black belt of jiu-jitsu. But man, those Dagestanis, they have a balance, they have a pressure. It's absolutely insane. Never seen anything like it. It's crazy, man. It's like wrestling with a bear, right? And so therefore, yeah, he won in a very, very dominant fashion and submitted him with an arm triangle. Crazy. Definitely confirmed what I was thinking, but not in that fashion. Amazing, amazing, really phenomenal. And it's nice to see him as a follower, so to speak, of Khabib. Because let's be honest, everybody wants to see a few more fights with Khabib. If you watched the UFC, if you liked Khabib, and how can you not? Everybody was expecting at least 2 or 3 more fights, but he was gone. So God bless him, absolutely unbelievable. Javid, again, thank you very much, brother. 777. Opinion on Giorgia Meloni, Italy's first prime minister who is being compared to Mustache Man, friend. Okay. Yeah, I saw a few things about her. Let me tell you something. This is the way I see it. So this woman made some headlines. I saw a little bit of it. I don't know about her background. I can't tell you too much about it. I can tell you only one thing. Looking at her, speaking radically proud, right? And essentially everybody in the national right-wing movement wants to hear those things, wants to hear those phrases. All good, okay. But the issue that I'm having is that men truly cheer for her and see her as some sort of leader. And yes, she is right. It's the same cringe that I see with the conservatives in America cheering for Cannon's Owen. That's her name, right? Cannon's Owen? Whatever. Right? Oh, she's black, but hey, she's so white, and she's conservative, and pro-family, pro-this. If she was really pro-family, then she wouldn't be working, man. Then she wouldn't be running her mouth on television, having debates, having YouTube channels. She would be at home cooking. That's how it is. Simple. And it's the same with this woman. So what do we see here, really? You can call me sexist, bigot, misogynist, whatever. As men, we should have men as leaders, and not women. So therefore everybody that is cheering for her, oh yes, she's speaking out what we all want to say. Congratulations, man. As a man, you cannot say what you want to say. You need a woman to say it for you. Pathetic. That's how I see it. So no matter which woman, no matter how good it is, what she says, it's not your position to be leading there. Your position is to nurture the children at home and not to be running your mouth in political circles. That's how I see it. Okay, Yeshua the King. Yeshua the King, okay, donated $5 through Super Chat. Do you fact check some of the claims of Muslims? Example, day 365 times. Cause day is in there more than that. And why didn't they use Islam calendar? Okay, Yeshua the King. I don't really understand what you mean. So now you say that day appears more than 365 times in the Quran. I cannot confirm that one way or the other. I do not know. That I admit right away. And about other things, do I fact check them? Yes, I do. But not with the fact checkers. But I research myself. That's that. And about the Islamic calendar, I don't know why they don't use it. Same question could be posed to the Christians, why they don't use the old calendar. Some Orthodox do, some don't. Greece changed the Christmas date as well. So why they do certain politics, I do not know. Thank you for the donation. Fred for Life 2 donated $3. Thank you, Fred. Do you think heaven and hell exists within your mind? Thank you very much, guys. Do you think heaven and hell exists within your mind? Also, my girlfriend misses your vegan reaction videos. Lol. Greetings to your girlfriend. As I said, the vegan reaction videos became very, very boring. I would be totally open and ready to react to vegans if you guys would send me videos. That's what distinguishes the audience at the moment, because the Muslim viewers, they actually want to see me react to Muslim videos, to Islamic videos. And this is why they're sending me Islamic videos on a daily basis. I said this 10,000 times on the stream. But if you want to see something, just post it, man. Just send it to me. I will react to it, God willing. But you have to post it. Otherwise, I don't see it. And I can't just scroll through internets, through Instagram, through YouTube, and search for vegan what I eat in a day. I can't do it anymore. Really, it's too much. It's so boring to do that. And that's why. If you want me to react to anything, doesn't matter. Can be political to an extent, as much as we can do on YouTube here. Can be about diet, can be about sport, whatever you want me to react to, just send it my way, and then I will, God willing. But myself, nah, I'm over it, really, to search all day for vegan videos, and then to react to who's left? Nobody, they're all dead. And about, do you think heaven and hell exists within your mind? I would say yes, it exists within your mind, but beyond that as well. So I personally do believe that it is not necessarily a physical place, but a metaphysical place. If you look into Egyptian theology, you could say everything is the mind. But yeah, I do believe that there are really real places in that sense, and that they exist in our mind too, because we all found ourselves being mentally in heaven or being in hell. Both. Perfect Heretic donated 5 SAR. Thank you very much, Perfect Heretic. I appreciate it, brother. Hammernail donated $2 again. And this is a question that I probably cannot read out here either. It sucks, guys. I know it's extremely annoying, but we cannot speak about certain topics here. So the question is, will the bad man from a place that shall not be named attack another country that is blue and yellow and very nice? I don't think so, personally. And that's all I can say here. I personally don't think so. I think that the motivation behind it is a totally different one than just attacking. I believe that we will see this whole thing play out now in our economy. And that's basically what it's about. So I don't think that he will do that. Okay, that's all I can say here. Thank you again. And again, Yeshua Da King donated $5. Thank you. Thoughts on apostasy law? All 4 schools of law agree. Leaving Islam deserves death. Yes, just merely leaving, not just treason as they claim. Yeah, but leaving is treason within an Islamic context, within an Islamic country. Thank you very much. So, first and foremost, yet again, I'm not an Islamic scholar. Guys, I'm just a Christian, baptized at birth, reacting to Islamic videos, having read the full Quran as an English translation, and now researching further, okay? So I cannot possibly know. That is a fact. Please keep that in mind. Don't get your information from me here. Right? If we want to know about Islamic jurisprudence, then we have to ask Islamic scholars that made that their life. Okay? That is very important. So I personally do not know if that is true. Thank you so much. Oh, that's a very generous donation. We have to give it an applause right away by Hamid El Morabeti. I appreciate it, bro. Let me give you an applause. And judging by the name, I have to say shukran, right? Shukran. Thank you very much for the $50 super chat donation. I really appreciate it. It's a cool little sticker there as well. Looks like Dragon Balls, and I love Dragon Balls. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, no question attached, but nevertheless, thank you very, very much for the donation. I appreciate it. Okay, and so now again, back to the apostasy law. As I was saying, I'm not the scholar, I cannot know. So is it true that all 4 schools agree? I don't know. Maybe. I heard Mohammed Hijab talk about it, and he said that it is not necessarily the case, that ultimately you can leave the country as well. So it depends. I don't know that, right? But if it were to be this way, then I would understand it as well. Why? Because we're speaking about an Islamic country. So you say it's not just treason. So first and foremost, just treason. No, treason against the country that destroys the whole constitution and the whole social dynamic within that country. So that country has to stand for something. You know the saying, stand for something or fall for anything, right? So if we're speaking about an Islamic country, and with that Islamic country, within that Islamic country, there are certain law sets. If you then go against the core belief, you are absolutely a traitor to that country and a danger to that country. Of course, absolutely. When you start spreading different ideas, different to the ideology of what holds this country together, you commit treason. That's basically what it is. And so therefore, leave that country, if you will. If this is not for you, there should be an option, I believe. And if not, then of course there must be some sort of implication for your treason. And this is why it's a false equivalent. You say, oh, it's not just treason as they claim, it's just for leaving Islam. Yeah, but you have to understand that we are talking about an Islamic state then. And within that Islamic state, everything is Islamic, right? So if you... why do I have to explain this? So if you become an apostate in that Islamic state, then you commit treason by default, of course. Because it's an Islamic state and not a democracy. It's very simple, bro, okay? I understand that, and I'm not even Muslim. So, yeah. It's always this liberalized perspective. Oh, death penalty for such and such. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. What is the name of the intro song? I have my intro song. It's not my intro song. It's called 8-Bit Wolf or something on those lines. Just search on YouTube, Bobby's Perspective intro song, and you're gonna find it. I re-uploaded it on my channel. It's a royalty-free song. I love it. Thank you very much for the donation. Javid donated again. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Yes, Owen Benjamin is a flat earther and currently lives off-grid. Doesn't believe dinosaurs existed either. Yeah, okay. I didn't know that, but... from what I saw, to be fair, I always judge it by what I see. I have to ultimately. He made reasonably good points for Muslim and Christian friendship, ultimately, on the Dean Show. And living off-grid, he was explaining how he is interested in slaughtering chickens and whatnot. And they share those interests with his Muslim neighbors. So that's cool. That's all I heard. Anyways, thank you very much again, Javid, brother. Really appreciate it, man. Can't say it often enough. Miranda donated again. $3. Thank you. Would you do a meetup when coming to a specific country or every country you're at, just to meet up with subscribers? Man, that's the thing. Pretty much every country I've been to, I've ran into subscribers and had some good chats for sure. Hung out with some subscribers here and there. For me, it's extremely strange. Thank you very much. Believe it or not, I don't feel like a YouTuber at all. I really don't. It's the weirdest thing. I love to talk, and when my friends are around, we talk like this for hours and hours on end. We are like that, like little girls. But I'm a full-time dad, and I have activities throughout the day, right? And sometimes I time it like this to just record videos, and then I edit them. And then there could be 2 days or 3 days where I'm not doing anything YouTube related. And again, I forget completely about being on YouTube. So that's why when we're talking about making a subscriber meetup, it's actually like a strange idea to me, believe it or not. As a whole group. And they're all meeting Bobby's Perspective. That's very strange to me. So meeting subscribers 101, I like that a lot. Or like a small group, okay. But a whole bunch of subscribers at once, and now everybody came to see me, that would make me feel weird. Honestly, as always, I have to speak my truth and have to explain it to you as transparent as I can. It would be strange to me. I would be wondering, why are you guys here? All for me. It would be strange, really. So, yeah, when I'm somewhere and I ran into subscribers, That's all cool, but I don't see them as subscribers then either. Then I just see them as a person on the street and then we talk. Yeah. It's very strange, a very strange dynamic with me and YouTube, I have to say. I don't even know how I end up on YouTube. It's crazy. I started YouTube only with a phone, man. Only with a phone on Koh Phi Phi Island. I think that's east from Phuket, something like that, in Thailand. And I just filmed myself talking to that selfie camera, essentially, and then editing that video with a video edit app on that pre-broken phone. And that's how I started YouTube. So, yeah, it's very strange, very strange. Now, slowly but surely, I'm making this stream look a little bit prettier. Soon, God willing, we'll have the green screen back. But yeah, ultimately, a subscriber meetup with a bunch of people, it would make me feel weird, really. I would rather just meet up personally with a smaller group or just a few people. Yeah. Thank you very much again. Javid, again, thanks, bro. Owen talks with David Weiss all the time. Very strange. Rockfin requires interviews. Didn't know this. Sorry you had that experience. Yeah, no need to be sorry. I didn't get it, man. Yeah, they want us like a job interview. Very strange. And so, yeah, then I lost interest. David Weiss was recommended as well to me to talk to him. Haven't done it yet. I would do it just out of sheer interest. Why not? I'm open to all kinds of talks. But yeah, I don't know about that aspect, as I said. For me personally, the things that he said on the Dean show made sense, was alright. The rest, between him and God, all good. Zoom party host Omar donated $2. Thank you very much. See my Zoom party Islamic program. How to send you. What is a Zoom party? I've never heard that before. Zoom party. So, how to send you. In the description box, you can find email links and Instagram links. So, there you can send me your Zoom party, I guess. I don't know what the Zoom party is, but okay. Send me the Zoom party link and I'll join. Maybe even live, so everybody can participate in the Zoom party. Thanks, bro. Honestly, I'm not laughing at you. I just have no idea what a Zoom party is. So send it to me and God willing, I will check it out. Hamid that just became a member. I see it here. It's highlighted. Wrote, I want to help support your channel because I can see that some good will come from you and Allah is steering you and preparing you for a bigger purpose. Not a lot of people throw up when they eat pork. Hey, thank you very much, brother. I just want to say, really, don't put your expectations into men. It's extremely important. We're all human. We're all flawed. When you think of somebody rather too highly and then they disappoint you, then all of a sudden you start hating them. So we should always put our thoughts first and foremost on God, and then anything else that happens, happens. Nevertheless, thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. And yes, the pork story is true, as I said, and I tested it. I tested it like 3 times. I wanted to understand if it's really due to the pork that I'm puking, and yes, I was puking. So as a teenager, I quit pork. I haven't eaten pork in 20 years. Thank God. Okay. Now, let me just double check something. 1 second, guys. I'm scrolling through the super chats. Shukran, again. Okay, Miranda donated again. Thank you very much, Miranda. I'm gonna remember your name. Yes, do the reading of the Quran. Yeah, I'm gonna do a poll on that, if there's interest. I think it would be cool. Thank you very much. I think it would be cool. It would be enjoyable for me, personally, to read the Quran out loud, because every time I read something out loud, you focus on it even more, right? Sometimes when you're reading it for yourself, you can doze off a little bit, and then you skip a part. You know what I'm saying? It would be definitely better to read it out loud, and I think people would benefit from that as well. I hope. So, yeah, if people want it, I'm gonna do it. We can try 1 surah and then go from there. Javed's opinion on Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro has the skill, the gift of rapid fire. He's speaking like an MP5. Brrr, like that. He can essentially cement his argument with plenty of words and intimidate his debate opponents, if you will, just by saying a lot. Certain conservative values I do appreciate, I have to say. On certain values, I'm definitely on the same level with him. But he's pro something that I'm definitely absolutely contra. You understand what I'm saying, right, guys? Please read between the lines. So yeah, I'm definitely very contra to his political stance, let's put it that way. And therefore, ultimately, this cements it for me. Conservatism, especially as we see it in America, has many valid points, but ultimately it fails on other points just brutally. And in a few years, it will be changed again. It will become even more liberal, which it already is, essentially. It is like the original liberalism. That's what conservatism is nowadays. And that's why I cannot really take those people serious. And politically, neither. Let's say politically, neither. Foreign policies. Cannon's own Benjamin. Hey! Exactly. Javid again, thank you, bro. Well said, Bobby. Ironically, a lot of these strong black women on both sides who have pro-black platforms marry rich white men, including Cannon's own. Yeah, I mean, she's not really pro-black in that sense. She's pro-conservative, I guess, American. And therefore, in her case, she can do it. But nevertheless, man, it's really... Yeah, for me it's pathetic to have a woman wear the pants in the most literal sense. And now we're gonna worship her. And yes, speak for me, little man here. Speak for me, little guy. I need a woman to speak for me. Thank you, miss. It's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, can appreciate it. Abdullah donated $10. Thank you very much, Abdullah. Appreciate it. Said donated $1. Thank you very much, Said. Shukran. Achem donated $5. Thank you very much. He says, the guy Jordan Peterson works for and his people want Muslims and Christians to beef. Yeah, bro. Absolutely. There was a meme. And you saw the two videos of Jordan Peterson, right? The first one is Dear Christians. The second one is Dear Muslims. And then what's next, right? And then you see the meme, essentially, that states, I'm still waiting for the third part. That third part will never come. We all know it, of course. But that being said, yeah, it is absolutely a beef. It is absolutely a triggering statement coming from his side, which ultimately is not based in reality. That's really what it comes down to. Again, coming back to the talk between him and Mohammed Hijab. Mohammed Hijab is not the representative of ISIS, of some sort of Islamic State or fake Islamic State in that sense, right? And Jordan Peterson is not the political leader of the West either. So now they're sitting down to a friendly chat already, but somehow they're acting like that, or rather he is acting like that, as if they have to establish some sort of arbitrary peace. What are we talking about? It's absolutely ridiculous, man. Mohammed Hijab came there to discuss theology with you. That was the talk. Even the YouTube video title was discussing Christ with Muslims. Alright? Clickbaity. Absolutely clickbaity, obviously. And he didn't even discuss Christ with Muslims. Not at all. He didn't discuss Christianity with Muslims either. He was discussing some sort of peace treaty. Again, as if they were politicians. There is no war between Jordan Peterson and his people and Mohammed Hijab and his people. Not at all. So, to base this talk on peace is already a false equivalent yet again. It's arbitrary and just steers more hate in those groups. Because like that, you bring into their cognitive presence that actually there is some beef between you guys. So now we're going to try to establish some peace here. Absolutely ridiculous. There's already peace, man. That's why you're sitting on one table discussing. What is that? So yeah, I absolutely agree with you, man. Obviously, this is definitely there to harden the fronts between those two parties. Absolutely. Who could want that? I wonder. Hammernail donated $2 again. Thank you very much, brother. Please stream more. I like this very much. Hey, thank you very much for liking it. Guys, if you like it, Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumb up the stream. Brits, Brits, Brits. Click it now. Let me check. Let me check if you're clicking it. Let me see. Where we at right now? I have to open this up. Now you already clicked probably. Let me see. We have 274 people watching. Nice. We have 280 thumbs up. Hey, that's actually really nice. I don't think we're going to get much more. But maybe those are previous viewers. So if you can thumb it up, thumb up the stream. And let me see if we can bring it at least to 300. That would be nice. We're modest here. At least 300. Thumbs up. Thank you very much. Okay, anyways. Appreciate that you like it, man. And God willing, I will do much more of it. As I said, I'm moving tomorrow morning. This is why there is a mess behind me. And then I should be able, again, God willing, to set up my green screen again. Make this look a little bit more professional. A little bit nicer. Okay, Javid Benscom, again, brother. What? $51. Javid is most definitely the rich boy here. Thank you very much. Javid, appreciate it, brother, for the biggest donation of today. And a big cheers for you. Thank you very much. Javid with the biggest donation of tonight. Thank you so much, really. Appreciate it, man. Not only for this one, all the others as well. Thank you for the tremendous support. So he says, I notice this happens in every topic, whether it's red pill content, flat earth, conservatives, gamers, ext. The women's channel repeat the talking points that has been said by men, but on a more or less quality basic level, not always, but generally. Yes, that is because women are followers and not leaders. The leader in the family, and this is the basis of society, believe it or not, is the man. The woman is not leading, she is following. So on a societal scale then, again, it must be representative of the same nature, and this is where men yet again lead. That's how it is. If you don't have that, you have a broken system, and that broken system will lose. You will see that. Mark my words, every single nation that now is being led by women will fall sooner than later. 100%. And because women are followers, there are no genuine talking points, man. Honestly, again, it's going to sound sexist, etc., but I cannot listen to women speaking about male topics. It's just unnatural. Just as I cannot listen to males speak about female topics. It's unnatural as well. It goes both ways. Please understand this, okay? Don't take this out of context. Women that pretend to be men, wearing suits and talking about politics, repulsive. Absolutely repulsive. I want a feminine woman. A nurturing woman. A motherly woman. That is beautiful. And not a politician. Absolutely repulsive. So it's unnatural, and therefore those countries will fall. Simple. Very simple. And again, Javid says, I agree with what you said about supposed female leaders and the men that are cheering for them. Yes, that means you're sane. You're a sane man. You're a sane human being. Everybody that, is still somewhat sane in this crazy world, and I understand if you're not, but understands this super simple and natural dynamic between males and females. Abdullah donated $1. Thank you very much, Abdullah. Can you watch and react on the final signs before Judgment Day series? Haven't I done that already? The major signs I did, right? Okay, I'm gonna do that, bro. God willing. Thank you. Let me just save this. I'm gonna save it to my YouTube reaction list. Let me see. Here we go.
Let's create a bright green future where we all feel compassion.
Judgment Day is this copy thing, man. Really strange. Doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Here we are. Okay. But I reacted to the 10 major signs. The 10 major signs before Judgment Day. That I reacted to already. Let me see. Judgment Day series. Okay, I'm gonna save it to my reaction list and then double check, because as I said, I already reacted to the 10 major signs. If this is similar or the same, then I'm not gonna react to it. But if it's something different, then for sure. Thank you very much, Abdullah. Zoom party host Omar is back. Thank you very much, bro. He says Zoom party is an Islamic game show. I will put it in the chat. A game show? That's cool. Interesting. Let me see. Okay, yeah, put it in the chat then. Or, as I said, write me on Instagram, email, then at least I'm going to have it for sure. And it's fun. Then we're going to do a live stream. And everybody from here will join the Zoom party Islamic game show. I think that's actually funny. So I see the chat. They say, yes, Bobby already reacted. Yeah, I reacted to the 10 major signs. I don't know if the final signs is a different video. You decide. Okay, anyways. I've been at it for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Pretty long. Around here is already 10:20 p.m. I think I answered all the super chats now. Took me quite some time. But that is something positive. Because you guys really supported like crazy. Thank you so much for all the super chats. Wow. I'm just scrolling through them. Crazy. Thank you so much. I really am appreciative of you guys liking the content. It's amazing. So thank you for that, guys. Now, disclaimer, warning, alarma. I'm gonna hang back for 10 more minutes. Okay? So if you want to support now, in 10 minutes I'm gone. So just so you know, it's a fair warning, because sometimes people, they donate after I'm gone. Like that, needless to say, I cannot answer your questions. So from now on, 10 more minutes, and then I'm offline. So if you want support, do it now. I'm going to try to react, or respond rather. Thank you again, Jared. I'm going to try to respond to some chats as well. That's what I'm always trying to do in the last 5 to 10 minutes. But most of the time it doesn't work. I see it here. Stop spamming for Allah's sake. Yeah, please stop spamming. Otherwise I'm going to ban you. Ichi Tachi. So yeah, thank you very much again for the donations. Now 10 more minutes, now no 9 more minutes, and then I'm gone. I'm offline for today. So let me answer the... What is going on here? Let me answer the last super chats. Okay, Itachi, bye-bye. You're gonna get banned now. I'm better at spamming. No, you're not. You actually suck at spamming. Because you're gonna get banned now. Spamming is a delicate art, and you have to do it right. If you do it too much, you're gone, Itachi. You're gone. So, time out for you. Bye-bye. And all the messages are deleted. And Grandma, I'm gonna put you in timeout as well. Okay, bye-bye. Yes, they're banned now. No worries. Guys, I need new moderators, it seems. I had a bunch of moderators, but now they're gone. Or I don't know what happened. I hope they're still well. But I need new moderators. I will screen through, and the people that are the most active here, people that I can trust, more or less, as much as I can assess that over the internet, can become moderators. People that are here on the stream. I mean, Javid, I can definitely set as a moderator. Javid, are you a moderator yet or not? Let me just double check. Javid, I can definitely set as a moderator. Let me just double check if he's in the chat here as well. Can I do it from here? 1 second. And then I will need a few more moderators that will delete spam. So I will give you that position so you can help me out a little bit here. Anyways, Javid, I'm going to set you as a moderator if you're not already. Can you just do me a favor and post in the chat? Just write hello in the chat. And then I can right-click there and add you as a moderator. Via Super Chat or Streamlabs, it doesn't work that way. So just do me a favor. Okay, anyways, we had some more Super Chats. Thank you again. Javid. Yosra Hamza. I disagree. Women can be leaders and have more initiative approach. What does that mean? Somebody believes they can be leaders? Yosra Hamza said that. Yeah, I disagree. again, women are not born leaders. They're not leaders in the household. They're followers. They cannot be leaders, and therefore they cannot be leaders in a real world environment, here in a bigger environment either. There's Javid. Okay. Perfect, bro. I'm gonna set you as a moderator. Add moderator. Okay, fantastic. Javid is a moderator now and can help me out if he finds the time to block some spam. I'll be honored, he says. Congratulations. You've been awarded a moderator. Okay, bro. Thank you very much, man. So I really appreciate it. It helps out a lot. Because I cannot monitor the chat at all, as I said. As you saw, we've been just going through Super Chats, Streamlabs donations. I can't really look at the chat. And so if somebody's spamming, I definitely need some moderators. I'm going to try to look into who's regularly here, who actually is supportive and understanding of the chat dynamics. So then they will be able to hopefully moderate. Yes, you're the Super Saiyan, man. Super Saiyan, not only Super Saiyan, but Super Saiyan Blue. As you can see, you're blue now. Anyways, we were speaking about leaders. Yeah, as I was saying, man, women, they're not leaders in the household, and therefore in a society where they become leaders, there's already expression of a very, very sick society. Not good at all. Abdullah donated $1. Thank you, Abdullah. It details each major science separately. Okay, I will save it and then, God willing, react to it. Kappelmeyer donated $3. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Can you recommend to read the Quran in English, or is there also a good German translation? Thanks. I haven't read it in German, so I cannot recommend it. I personally just read it in English. And yeah, I'm going to ask, I have a few German Muslim friends. I'm going to ask them and then post it in my Telegram group. Okay? I'm going to make it a post, actually. The Quran in German that is worth reading. So thank you very much for the donation, brother. I appreciate it. And yeah, just stay tuned on my Telegram. I'm going to post it as a post there. So you can see which one, up to their standards, is a good translation. Matze, good to see you, brother. He says, I think you missed my super chat. No way. Let me double check, bro. Thank you very much for your super chat. Where is it, though? Have I missed anything, guys? It doesn't show it. Wait a sec, we have another option as well. If it is a super chat and not a Streamlabs chat. Let me see. Can I search here? I'll try. 1 second. Nope. Nah, definitely not. Matze, I cannot see it, bro. Damn. I don't know what happened. Would have been nice if you would have just copied it into the new super chat. Walid says, you missed me. Okay. Let me double check. It doesn't show it anymore. It stops at Yeshua da King, which is a super chat from like 50 minutes ago or so. And I cannot look any further, unfortunately. Let me double check. So, who's missing here? Grandma, I put you on timeout and now you're coming back like this. I'm gonna ban you now. Okay, now you're removed. Gone. I gave you a fair chance. I put them on timeout for 5 minutes. And now you're coming back spamming. Why? Okay. Hey, sorry guys. If there's something that I missed, really was my intention, obviously, but it doesn't show up. It really doesn't show up. So I'm trying to find it here, but I can't. Yes, you missed me, says Walid. Okay, Walid, do me a favor and just post your question now in the chat. And the same goes for Matze. Walid and Matze, please post your questions now in the chat. And I'm going to respond to you there so you don't have to super chat again. Sorry for this, guys, but it's not displayed here. I don't know what happened. Okay, so I double check. Is Walid writing it? Not yet. Okay, Walid and Matze, please do me a favor. Itachi says, Bobby, sorry for spamming. Bro, then don't spam. And you're not gonna get removed. But we see Grandma 2 coming back again. Okay. Pump more traffic. Grandma, can you please spam my videos? Can you just spam all the comment sections of my videos? That would be great. Because that would actually bring a lot of traffic. With the chat here, I don't know. Okay. Again, Walid and Matze, please post it in the chat now. So I can respond now. That'd be great. You don't have to do another super chat. Just write it in the regular chat right now when you hear this. So I can respond to your chats. And respond to your super chats ultimately with that. Okay, until then, Javid says Yosra Hamza leadership can be done by a feminine approach too. Maybe we're defining leadership differently. I don't know what Yosra Hamza... okay, it's still his name, right? So leadership can be done by a feminine approach too. Maybe we're defining leadership differently. No, it cannot be done. Leadership cannot be defined. We're not pulling a Jordan Peterson here. We're not saying, what do you mean by leadership? No, leadership is leadership. There's a position of authority. The position of leadership should always be in male hands because the male is the natural leader. Period. That's it. No excuses. Okay. So thanks, Matze. I appreciate it, bro. Walid, again, bro, you don't need to super chat again. Just write it now in the chat box so I can answer it. I don't find it. Ah, here. Thank you. I'm going to read out the chat of Walid first, guys, because otherwise I lose the chat again, okay? Thank you. My question is, what would be your response to the allegations about Muhammad's caravan raids and stealing merchandise? Sorry, brother, but not my position at all. So, I am researching that myself. People call him a caravan robber. I talked to different people and different people had different opinions. I really cannot give you mine yet because it's not qualified. So therefore, I'm sure there are many explanations of Islamic scholars. It would be just disingenuous to say, no, I think it's like that. Nah, it's not. I haven't studied the hadith properly. I haven't read them properly. So to put myself into a position to understand that, I'm not. So I cannot say anything about that. Nevertheless, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And sorry that I cannot give you another answer. Okay. Now, Matze, your super chat. Did you know that fermenting wheat gets rid of most of its gluten? That's why you can eat bread but shouldn't eat cookies. God bless. I didn't know that, but it would make sense, of course, if we look into Western A Price, for example. People have been fermenting such wheat foods, such carby foods, and yeah, it would explain, of course, that it makes them much easier digestible. So this is not a surprise, but still definitely interesting information. Thank you very much for that, brother. And thank you again for double posting this. I really appreciate it. That's nice. Maybe you could do fermented cookies. Thank you, bro. Javid again quotes this Yosra Hamza. Mothers are leaders of their children. Leaders when they take an initiative. Sometimes leaders when they are inspiring others through good work. No. The mothers, they are mothers to their children. They're not leaders. The leader is the man, yet again. The mothers are being mothers to their children. They're nurturing their children. And yes, they have an amount of authority over the children. But ultimately, the last word is with the father. And if the father says, nope, you're not going to behave like that with my children, then the woman has to obey. So ultimately, she has responsibility over the children, but she's not a leader for the children. Do you want to, as a man, follow the mother? I hope not. Okay, all right, and this has been over 10 minutes. And I went through all the super chats now, I believe. Okay, guys, this has been over 10 minutes now. I'm gonna cut it slowly off here. Yet again, one question. Did I miss any super chats? Let me know. If I missed something, I'm gonna try to respond to them as well. anybody feels ignored here, mistreated, please let me know. And otherwise, we're gonna cut it off here. Okay. Seems I answered all of it, right? Guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all the support tonight. It was absolutely amazing, really. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as myself. It was very interactive, absolutely amazing to see different faces here and old faces yet again. Tomorrow, God willing, as I said, I will be moving. And I should be set up Wednesday or so. So who knows, God willing, maybe next Sunday we're going to do this again. If you guys enjoy it, I surely do. I already uploaded a few videos, so tomorrow we're going to continue with the schedule. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm pumping out as many videos as I can. I really want to take this serious. I don't want to look back on this time and say to myself, well, I didn't give it enough. And therefore, I'm trying all I can, put all my work, all my motivation into this channel. And thank God, up until now, the resonance is absolutely beautiful. We have one more super chat by Jared. Thank you very much. If mothers are leaders, then how do single mothers perform in raising families? Not good. Absolutely correct. If you look at the stats, you look at the criminality that occurs in single mother households, you have all the answers you need. It's very, very simple. The man is needed as the leader. All right, guys. On this note, I'm going to cut it off. Yes, stop donating now, philanthropist says, but you're a philanthropist. You should donate. But anyways, he's right. Now we're cutting it off. Thank you very much for the donations. Thank you very much for the support, guys. Thank you very much for supporting this channel, as I said previously, that is facing all kinds of censorship. Without you, it wouldn't be possible. I'm looking forward to see you guys, God willing, next Sunday. During this week, as I already mentioned, should have plenty of videos up for you. If you have any recommendations for videos, always post in the comment section. Like that, you help the algorithm and you help me as well, because then I don't have to search for new videos. If you have any book recommendations, let me know as well in the comment sections, etc. You name it. If you want to further support this channel, I have to say this too, then check out my PayPal, my Patreon. All of the links are in the description box below as well, crypto too, etc. etc. Like that, you support this channel. All right, guys. But this is it for tonight. It has been a long one. It has been beautiful. We're gonna play some music now. Here we go. Wait a little bit. Lower with the volume. Fantastic. We talked about Jordan Peterson crying. Now I'm gonna go cry under my pillow as well. I appreciate it, guys. Guys, as always, may God bless you all. Much love and peace.